I have friends who use Scrivener. I'm an old man and I still like my Microsoft Word. What about sell us on Scrivener? What are the advantages that we Word users are missing out on?
For a start, you can keep all your research in the same document as your novel. So when I was researching, well, the book I'm just researching, the Mongolian book, I can have all the pictures next to the scenes that I'm writing about. So if I'm writing a scene about how to put a hood on an eagle, I can have next to that scene a little video clip of someone putting a hood on an eagle. And it will stay there and it will be embedded there permanently. The other thing that's great about it is the search function. So I can search the entire document for like someone's name, or every time I use, a particular word or a phrase, sometimes I'm like, I really like this phrase and I should put it in the book somewhere. Have I yet? So it's a more powerful search function than Microsoft Word. It'll give you like a list of every scene in which so-and-so's name is used. And then you can just click through it. And then you can move the scenes around. That's the thing that I used to screw up in Microsoft Word, is I would color code the scenes. Like some of them would be blue and some of them would be purple, and that would mean something to me. But this I can actually tag metadata on top of the scene, so I can go like, this is a draft and I still need to do X with it, and then move it from place to place as the story shifts around. So it works for me. But I do a lot of moving. I don't write books in order. So I have a scene here and a scene there, especially in the sand pile phase in the first draft. And so it's really helpful to be able to keep track of things scene by scene and move things around.
And that comes back to, you mentioned you don't outline very tightly, but you do some kind of plotting. At what point do you start to put those scenes in order, and at what point are you assembling a book as opposed to just writing around a little bit of everything? It's a mess at this point. But it's worked 5 times now, so I guess I'll call it a process. It's doing all right.
It's going okay. I get an idea. I get something a little bit more than a premise, a little bit less than a actual plot. I call it the original equipment. So the original equipment for Plain Kate is, there's an orphan girl who's a wood carver who is forced to sell her shadow. She gets a talking cat. Not a plot, and not quite a premise because there's no story there, but Act 1, right? And the characters and, what's going to happen there. And it's enough to get me to the end of Act 1. At which point I get super, super stuck and stay there for a couple months and consider getting a job in a bank and just flail and bang my head against the wall.
If anybody could get a job at a bank, I assume it's you. Remember when you had my book in the lobby? Where's my office?
Gee, please hire me. Where's my office? Here's my sticker. Yeah, does it come with an office, the sticker? Good to know. Yeah, then I get really stuck and I sort of feel my way forward. I generally just follow the characters around until they do something interesting that feels like the next plot piece of the book, and then I write Act 2. And then I get stuck again, because I usually don't know the ending. Often I think I know the ending, which is what gets me writing towards the ending and writing Act 2. But then I'm wrong, and then I get stuck again, and bash my head against the wall for a while, and then eventually have some kind of moment where I'm like, oh, wait, there's Act 3. And so it's in chunks. And then revision is my chance to make me look like I did it all on purpose. So in revision, I move it around, and I'm like, okay, if this is going to happen in Act 3, then I need to seed it all the way through. And, this would happen in this order, and this character can go entirely. So, my first draft is a mess. It's a real sand pile of a thing with false leads and, loose places. And so revision is where it all starts kind of moving around and coming together. It's not an efficient process. But, everybody's process is a little bit different, and I guess this is mine. So
I always joke that if I talk to 2 or 3 successful authors that all tell me we do things exactly this way, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and do what they're doing. But I haven't had that conversation yet.
Well, and people will always give you the rules for writing. Like, you have to get up and you have to write every day, or you have to write 1,000 words a day, or you have to write first thing in the morning. Or it's been my experience that there is no one right process. Even just for me, like my process works for a while and then it stops working and then I have to find something new. And it took me a while to stop feeling like a failure about that. But, what works is what works. And the rules, I don't know. It's like parenting. You've got a wee person. Like everybody has strong opinions about parenting because no one is sure they're doing it right. And they'd all really like to be certain. So I think writers can be like that.
Oh, no, I am. Save this podcast, esteemed audience, when my son is president. That's too low a bar. When he has cured cancer, you're welcome. Great parenting.